Nice enough to join us on the eve of his opening night, and that is our friend Coach Dwayne Killings. Coach Killings, how are you, sir?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Good, man. Opening night. We're 24 hours away from you guys tipping it off over at UMass. Are you excited?
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. You know, it's time. It's been obviously a long summer of workouts, a long fall. I thought we had two good scrimmages, and we're excited about this group. I think they have, amazing relationships, a high-level desire to win and to succeed, and they believe in each other. Now it's time to go play and, see what the game presents and see how we adjust. But I really believe in this group, man. We have a lot of talented, high-character guys that are really focused on winning.
Coach, just quickly on those scrimmages, any major takeaways from really the first time that you get to see this group in game action, given that, you've been practicing for a while, but anything that jumped out to you?
Well, I think first and foremost, our health is so important. We actually have had guys out, in both scrimmages, which I thought was disappointing just because we were so excited to see different lineups, see different guys out there playing. But, it's college basketball. That's what happens throughout the course of the year. It's an ankle here. It's something else there. And that makes the journey just more interesting, which means more guys have to be ready to step up, which I think there was the newfound energy after the both scrimmages because guys were like, okay, I got to be on my toes because you never know what could happen next. But I thought Amari Marshall really emerged as a key scorer for us in both opportunities to compete. Jonathan really found his way. I think he's really improved defensively, which is really exciting. Our perimeter shooting from Tyler Burcham was great. And then, who I was most excited for through the scrimmage was Namir Little. He's had his career really disrupted by injuries.
Big
it was
time,
great to get him out there on the floor. He played a lot of minutes against a really good team in our second scrimmage. And I thought he was a catalyst to some really key runs in there. And it was great to see him back out there on the floor.
Coach, when you're talking about these scrimmages and you're talking about guys being banged up, you're getting into season 3 here at the helm of the Great Danes. Do you feel this is the deepest team that you've had?
Yeah, I do. And with that being said, throughout our scrimmages, we were without Marcus Jackson, who's been a key piece to us. He provides perimeter defense, brings toughness, just brings really good energy, a really strong voice. And then obviously Justin Neely's still on his road to recovery. So when you add those guys in the fold, whenever that time comes, I think that's really positive for what we're trying to do here. I think the versatility is what we want. We weren't where we wanted to be, last year in terms of how we wanted to just win games on defense and offense and just how we wanted to approach it. And then I thought our first year, we were really close. I thought we had a really good group, and then obviously we lost Trey Perry right before the league play started. And I think this group, Matt Cerruti said this the other day. I asked him, I was like, where do you think this group stacks up with that group? He was like, they're younger, because we had older guys, but he said they're way more talented, and I think that says a lot.
Yeah, that definitely does. We're hanging out with head coach of the UAlbany Great Danes, and that is Dwayne Killings. Great Danes open up tomorrow night at UMass. That game will be right here on 104.5 The Team, 6:45 pregame. Roger Weiland, Michael Johnson Jr. will bring you all of the play-by-play and color action as Coach Killings and the guys get underway.
All right, Coach, let's take a look at the non-conference schedule just as a whole before you open up conference play. A very, very strong slate of teams that you'll be playing in non-conference play, including my alma mater, Quinnipiac, which I saw on the schedule this year.
Did that for you.
I figured he probably did. But the general expectations when you look at this non-conference schedule, what do these opponents bring in terms of challenges for your group this year?
Yeah, I think you got to start fast. We have to play with a high level of urgency when the game starts on defense and offense. These teams are coming at you. It's the start of the season. People are trying to prove who they are collectively and individually. UMass starting out, they're a really good team. They rebound the ball at a high level. Frank Martin's teams typically are top 25 in the country in terms of their ability to rebound the ball, especially offensively. So it's going to be a tough physical game. Matt Cross, really good front court player. Josh Cohen, really good front court player. Rasul Diggins, in the backcourt, kid that started his career at UConn. Yeah, it's going to be tough, and they're going to overplay us and try to make the game really hard for us. In our second game against Columbia, it's a road game. They got a really good backcourt, which I think presents another challenge for us. I think the thing we're going to learn early, though, is our defense has to travel with us, and that's going to be a case of trying to be a good defensive team. We start the year with a lot of road games because the arena, our first game in the arena is not till the 29th. So I think we'll be really battle-tested. It's just, how do we respond to adversity, to the runs, to a new environment, and all those things. We got to learn that fast and on the fly. And I think that's harder for guys, especially, that haven't been through the rigors of college basketball for, 3 years and whatever it may be. But you know what? It's a huge opportunity for us. We believe in our group, and we're going to go out here and try to start the season off with a bang.
Coach, as you embark on your third season, there have been a number of challenges. Talk about some of those that were challenges now that you seem that things are different now and you seem to have under control in your third year.
Yeah, I think it's, the patience. You get so excited. I think this opportunity here in this community and at the school with the new arena, I think there's a buzz about our program. There's a belief in our program, belief in what we're trying to do. Just be patient with it, have fun with it. And then I think the other thing is, the identity of our group. It's a lot clearer. I think if you came in the gym, you'll see it. I asked the guys the other day, what did they think were the key things that we've been emphasizing in practice? And I think finally for us, everybody's on the same page because I think everybody has a clear mind. Like, how do I get better? How do we get better? How do we win? And I think when you have that collective energy, I think it makes the job of trying to build a championship level program that much better. And then I think the other thing is, be process driven. Don't be so outcome driven. Just stay in the process. Get better in our process. Let's get better today. I think if you look at our group and you came in and said, okay, we've been without 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. We had a stretch over without Jonathan Beagle, without Sebastian Thomas, without Marcus Jackson, without Justin Neely, and we're getting better, and our guys are working, and they're grinding out in practice. I think about, okay, what can we become over a college basketball season? Just stay in it, stay in the process, and that's what we're focused on.
Okay, so, and obviously, being the mid-major, the conference tournament, obviously is the big goal of everything. And Dan talked about you guys being in the non-conference. What are the objectives that you want to come out of with this team going into the conference season? Where do you want to be like, hey, we're doing this well?
Yeah, I think, we have a bunch of game goals. One of them is paint touch threes. So off the drive, can we get threes? Off the post up with Jonathan, he's a great playmaker. Can we get threes? And I think that makes our team better. That's one of the goals that we talk about. Can we hold teams under 40% from the field on a consistent basis? That's one of the goals that we talk to our guys about. Can we get 32 deflections or more, in games? That's something that we talk to our guys about. And there's a bunch of other things that we focus on incrementally that end up helping us win games. That's why there are 11 game goals. We'll even stat after games, what we call win-loss, and it's just one-on-one possession. So they move you around, they're running their offense, and the ball gets reversed, and it's, one guy matched to another guy in the opposition, and the guy decides to drive the ball, and he's trying to get to the basket. Can you win that possession? We need buy-in on our individual defense just as much as our collective. And I think as we're going through that, what do those stats tell us? Are we getting better game to game? Are we getting tougher? Right. Are we growing in those possessions? We want to be able to try to out-rebound teams. I think, Jonathan and Justin have a chance to be a high-level, front court at this level. If we can out-rebound teams, think about what we can be in terms of our second-chance opportunities, what we can be like in transition. So we evaluate it. We're really trying to break the game down in little chunks and, feed it back to our guys so they can really see, okay, where are we getting better? Where are our weaknesses? Maybe some of our weaknesses are team strengths on the other side. That gives a little bit more of a plan for practice and then incremental goals that we can have, when we're working every day on the practice floor relate to the game floor.
It sounds awesome to me. They get going tomorrow night against UMass. He is our friend, head coach Dwayne Killings of the UAlbany Great Danes. This is Drive the Lane from City Line Bar and Grill, brought to you by our friends at City Line Bar and Grill. Coach Killings, best of luck to you, and we'll talk to you after and find out how well you did.
Sounds great, man. I look forward to it.